imagine you're walking through a thick, humid jungle. Surrounding you is trees for miles and the distant calls of animals as you're walking through the wet marshlands. In this story, you're not just a tourist on an adventure. You're a soldier fighting for your country in the thick, brackish water of Ramree Island. For many, Ramree Island may not ring a bell, but in World War II, it was the centre stage for one of the most horrific and horrifying animal attacks in human history. Today we're telling the nightmarish story of the Ramree Island Massacre. Now, Ramree Island Massacre wasn't your typical battle, even for World War II. While it was bloody enough, scary enough, and downright horrifying enough, it didn't really match up because instead of fighting, soldiers' bullets and tactical manoeuvres and tanks, they were fighting against Mother Nature themselves, and to put precisely, they were fighting against saltwater crocodiles. Nestled off the coast of Burma, which is modern-day Myanmar, Ramree Island never really had much of a population before this massacre or even after this massacre. It's the largest island in Myanmar, but it's not really a hotspot or anything. That being said, its strategic location made it a focal point during the World War II stretch, especially in the Asian sector. Now you might be wondering why Ramree Island was so important for both the British and the Japanese fighting forces. The island sheltered deep water ports as well as many airfields necessary for launching operations in the South Asian area. It wasn't a really easy land or terrain to have operations on. It had dense mangrove forests, and the swampy terrain also made it a huge challenge for moving around the island, as well as strategic advantage over all sea routes in the Bay of Bengal, which was really important to both sides. The Allied soldiers managed to put 1,000 combatants deep into the mangrove forest. Instead of being captured by the Allied forces, the Japanese chose to retreat into the swamplands. With the Allies pushing them further into the swamp, I imagine the Japanese thought they could quickly retreat, regroup, and then eventually attack later on. Because unfortunately for the fleeing men, the jungle on Ramree Island is home to an unknown number of saltwater crocodiles, which is the largest reptile in the whole world. Ramree Island's mangrove swamps, I'd go there. Crocodile or not be damned. Ramree Island's mangrove swamps provide the perfect habitat for these waterlogs, with brackish water, abundance of food, and great hiding spots for them to sneak up on prey. These prehistoric holdovers, cutely nicknamed salties, are the world's largest and most terrifying reptiles, but also very cool. An adult crocodile can reach over 6 meters long and weigh over 1,000 kilograms. That's about as heavy as a small car. Those examples of this size are rare. An average sized crocodile, which is around 3 meters, is more than comfortable taking down a human. And if you think their size is terrifying, wait till you hear about their bite, because these are seriously overpowered little dinosaurs. Saltwater crocodiles pack the most powerful bites out of all recorded living creatures. So there's a reason they survived when all the other dinosaurs didn't. They slam their jaws shut with around 3,700 psi. To put this into perspective, it's like having a small car drop on you. But interestingly enough, they're really good at shutting their jaws closed, but they're not very good at lifting it. So how people jump on saltwater crocodiles is they jump on their mouth, so they can't open it and therefore bite the person jumping on the crocodile. Which is why whenever you see like Steve Irwin, who in my opinion is one of the coolest people on the planet Earth, jumps on his mouth, it means that the crocodile can only wriggle and can't chomp. Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure Irwins are the only people immune to saltwater crocodiles because they get in the water with them for fun, with people viewing them. But their awesomeness doesn't stop there. They're not just brute beasts, they're also fiercely intelligent. And they've proven to be excellent strategists while hunting. Saltwater crocodiles learn quickly and are able to remember prey patterns for years. They've been even documented to use tools to lure in their prey. As I'm sure you can imagine, they're also excellent swimmers. They could go 29 kilometers per hour, or 18 miles for those who use the mile system, which is faster than most Olympic swimmers. Plus, they can hold their breath underwater for up to an hour, waiting for the prey to come closer. What's more is these creatures have incredibly long lifespans. They can live well over 70 years while in the wild. The oldest known saltwater crocodile, who was born around 1880, is called Quella. This means the crocodiles who were there for the Ramree Massacre could still be alive today. Saltwater crocodiles are far from a misunderstood monster. The crocodiles are well known for attacking humans who stumble into their habitat, seeing them as nothing more than taller and more awkward prey. So when nearly 1,000 panicked soldiers come stumbling into the water, dripping of blood and sweat from their previous battle, already injured and already weak, I'm sure that the crocodiles thought they were having a field day, that it was a gift from heaven itself and had a feast of a lifetime. Originally the story was 900 men died in the swamp to crocodiles, and in 1968 in the Guinness World Records, it was awarded the dubious distinction of most fatalities in a crocodile attack. which I don't think they wanted to win. The reason we know of this story is because of Bruce S. Wright. Wright wrote his one-paragraph account of the attack in 1962 in his book Wildlife Sketches Near and Far. Then the story was picked up by another scientist, a conservationist named Roger Corras. In his 1964 book Dangerous to Man, Corras called the Ramree Massacre one of the most deliberate and whole-scale attacks on man by large animals that is on record. Corras admits that, had the story come from a source other than Bruce Wright, I would have been tempted to discount it. But a highly trained professional naturalist, Bruce Wright, was there at Ramree. The problem is, while Wright was technically at Ramree, he just wasn't a witness to the massacre. He wasn't there to listen to the wailing Japanese soldiers, he didn't see the crocodiles, and in general, he wasn't there. He was at Ramree, but he wasn't there. According to a later telling of the story in his memoir, The Frogmen of Burma, Wright heard the story from British comrades while patrolling the island. If you read the passage closely, Wright never actually says he saw the massacre. That night was the most horrible that any member of the ML motor launch crews have ever experienced. Wright wrote this using the third person, but it's precisely because of Wright's reputation as a careful observer of the natural world that his second-hand and most likely embellished account was taken as fact. In truth, around 500 Japanese soldiers are believed to have escaped the swamps, with 20 being recaptured by British soldiers who were patrolling the borders of the wilderness. Still, there are 500 more men that never escaped the swamp. The surviving Japanese soldiers told horrific tales of crocodiles coming from the deep and dragging people seemingly out of nowhere down to the bottom of the water. There were also tales of people being picked off one by one in the darkness without anyone hearing a sound. The nights were said to be filled with dire screams, gunfire, and the calls of animals. Today, Ramree Island has escaped from the dark shadow of war and is now a popular destination for tourists and conservationists alike. The tall mangroves, once a site of unspeakable horrors, is now recognised for its ecological importance as well as beauty. Efforts to preserve the island's unique habitats are underway, balancing the need for conservation as well as ethical tourism. Visitors that come to the island often do World War II tours where they visit the battlefield as well as the swamps for the Ramree Massacre. Wildlife tours offer a glimpse into the lives of the saltwater crocodiles, who are now a protected species as they're recognised for their importance for the habitat. The island's impressive transformation from battlefield to beacon of ecological preservation is honestly really impressive. One of my favourite things from researching for this script was actually looking at the Google reviews of going to Ramree Island, and I think they're hilarious. I'll read you through some of my favourites. You'll be fine, just watch out for the thousands of saltwater crocodiles. Great spot for a vacation. Brought my kids and they loved it. They even got to pet some of the crocodiles and they were very friendly. Bill Nye, who I really do hope is the science guy, said, nice island, but the crocodiles were so rude. A local guide said, excellent place for an evening swim with the buddies. A beautiful gem of an island, just remember to bring someone slower than you. Lovely greenery. The wildlife is breathtaking and the scenery almost had me chopped in half. These two take a more serious approach, which I do respect. In World War II, I lost my life because of this island. I hate this island. If you want a big croc dinner, go there. I went there to fight an alligator and earn an honourable death. The only thing I actually thought was an old woman taking forever in the bathroom. Hashtag gator gone, hashtag time heals, hashtag I almost peed myself because of her. I don't believe he actually went to Ramree Island or even knows what Ramree Island is, because he would know that they are crocodiles, not gators. For anyone who doesn't know, crocodiles have a longer nose and gators have a wider nose. Also, gators are typically smaller than crocodiles. Another great comment is, such a beautiful island. Now where are my legs? Bitten by a crocodile while getting bombed by the British, but the Queen of England offered me a butternut toast after. We took a selfie, so I added another star. So anyway, that's a tale of the Ramree Massacre. Please like, comment and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll get to see you again soon.